Hey guys, what is going on? It's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we're playing some more Planet Coaster. Hey guys, what's up? 2 days in a row on Planet Coaster. Heck freaking yeah. Like I said, my life is a little bit less busy now, so hopefully we'll get these out more regularly. I doubt this will ever be a daily series simply because of how much time it takes me to do each episode, but I'm hoping to get a couple episodes up this week at least. So first thing we do is we kind of come in here and I decide to switch my path up to this natural pathway, and I ended up doing like the worn pathway with like the railings on them. I think at some point I'm probably going to go back and switch it up and end up changing it to the pathway that doesn't have the railings because I think it'll look a little bit better. But mostly what we do in this episode is just kind of flesh out our western town a little bit. We get a couple buildings complete and that's it. It's kind of taking a little bit of, well, here's the problem. I'm too much of a freaking perfectionist for this game, and so like every building's got to look absolutely awesome, and if it doesn't, then I have to spend like more time on it. And so man, I spent what, an hour on 2 buildings, and it's not that I don't know what to do. I kind of had a really good idea with what I wanted to do, but it still took me quite a bit of time. Here we decided to make this building, since we made it pretty big and ominous looking, I decided to make this kind of my jail slash sheriff's office, so to say. So I kind of decided to raise up the entryway, put the flooring down there. Hey Toby, shh. I'm house sitting this dog, and there's some neighbors showed up in our condo, and he apparently is defensive of our condo, even though he doesn't live here regularly. But anyways, so we make this into our sheriff slash jail slash, it's a pretty big freaking jail for a western town, but apparently we have a very unruly crowd that comes to our park, so we had to make a really large and intimidating jail to freak them out a little bit, I guess. But we have these windows here that look really good. They have bars, and it just kind of really fit well, so we decided to kind of flesh it out that way, and I really like how it ended up coming out. The one thing I have to say about this game, I feel like personally I'm pretty freaking good. I think like I can build some really nice buildings and some really nice set pieces. I think I have a good eye, but my roofs are, I'm gonna be honest, kind of trashy. I just, for whatever reason, cannot figure out how to make good looking roofs, and I probably should just watch some people who are better at it than me at it, but man, I just struggle to make the roofs look good. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like there's a couple pieces missing to actually make them look good. So if there's one thing about this episode I'm not really happy with, it's kind of how my roofs came out. Overall though, I think we did a really good job. Decided I wanted some sort of like offset piece here for the corner, just to kind of, give it a little flair, and I kind of like that piece, so it came out well. Overall, I think the sheriff, the roof piece for it came out well, as the roofing on it wasn't too bad. We ended up going back and changing it up, but I found these little wood structures here, and I thought, hey, you know what, I kind of wanted to do like an overhang for all this part, so we decided to do just this nice little wood overhang, and I think it looks really, really good. And then we found this shelf piece which works for a bench, and so we kind of just have this little seating area. I should throw some plants underneath there, I think. I don't know, I may have to go back and do that here. We ended up using the plants on our next building, which we're calling it like a tavern, bar, drink spot. I don't exactly know what what were they called back in the Western era? You'd think with having watched Westworld and then watched all of Deadwood, you would think I would actually know these things, but like I said, I'm not actually a huge Western fan. I think I mentioned that. I've never been a huge Western fan, but I love Westworld. I love the concept of the park, and I think it fits well with the different set pieces they had in the game, so that's why I kind of decided to roll with it. I end up making this really large and intimidating roof, and here in a little bit we end up going back and kind of deleting it because it's a little gaudy, I think. Just this huge roof on the top of the sheriff was just yeah, that's a little bit on the ridiculous side, so I think we end up lowering the height on it. Couldn't really figure out what to do with the roof here, so I decided to duplicate essentially what I did with the wood on the overhang and kind of duplicate it there, and I think it looks really, really well, or it looks really good. I needed something once again around the sides of the building just to kind of flavor it up a little more because it was a little on the plain side, so I ended up adding the wood pillars. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do here eventually because I have a lot of buildings in this western town, and I've kind of used this a couple times already. We noticed a couple of the windows are off, and this is what I'm talking about. I just like have OCD, and I'm just like very, very picky when it comes to these kind of things. So I'm like, nope, gotta adjust that, gotta adjust that, gotta adjust that. And then even here, like the roof just didn't quite look quite right. So I decided to frame in the whole thing. Maybe I should frame in the bottom too. I may have to go back and adjust that. That might actually look better too, to have the bottom framed as well. And then just add a little bit here and there, and yeah. I'm pretty happy with how this building came out, especially with the lower roof. It still looks a little on the awkward side. Like I said, I'm just like not the best when it comes to building roofs. But overall, I am pretty happy with that building. This one, we decided to go with the really large foyer area slash roof, just to kind of like really make this building stand apart. This building is one of our shorter buildings. I decided, you know, obviously one of the things I wanted to do is make sure that every building was a little bit different heights and so on and so forth. And so this was one of the shorter buildings, but I decided to have, you know, this rather large entryway, or at least foyer area for the building itself. Here, I'm actually trying to figure out what the heck to do with it. And I spent probably, what, like 5 minutes actually trying to figure out what kind of roof to do, and I get like one piece and it's like, yeah, that looks good, then what about that? No, that doesn't look good, so then maybe we should do this and that, and just trying to, what do I use, what looks good? And I'm like, well, maybe I tried duplicating that. No, that looks okay, but then this one doesn't look okay. Well, that looks okay. Well, that looks okay. Screw it, we did that. So I think we have like 3 or 4 extra pieces in there that are unnecessary, but whatever, it works. And so then I found these wood pieces that I really liked, and I decided to make an overhang to go over it. I didn't like how that looked, so I decided to flip them around and then lower them, and then we put the pieces there. And once again, this goes to my OCD of it has to be just perfect and match up just perfectly, because when you walk underneath it, you know, you got to be able to see it right. And so that's kind of our overhang for the entrance area to our tavern bar area. And I decided to do another one in the back, because this is going to be kind of where the horsies hang out. So we found these wood horse posts that we had initially, and we decided to kind of do a little bit of flavoring around that. And I kind of figure you show up to town, you come into the train station, you come drop your horsies off here, you got a little food barrel, and although I guess technically shouldn't there be water in there, not plants, I decided to put greenery in there as like, oh hey, this is what the horsies eat. But thinking about it, should probably be water in there, right? But then we decided to, you know, do a little bit of painting back here just to kind of make it look worn, because we got a lot of travelers in our western town, and these travelers come over here and take it. And so one of the things that I found have worked really well is start off with a more intense brush and then kind of lower the brush and kind of like almost gradient it around the edges and stuff like that, just to make it, you know, make the background more flow in versus just being like a sudden like fill in. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, we drop a couple rocks in here just to make it look a little more realistic once again, and then just some little foliage and stuff like that. Just because once again, we're just trying to make it look as realistic as possible. We end up throwing some stuff here on the front. What did we end up calling this? We ended up calling it, oh yeah, the drink hole. I couldn't really think of a more creative name. If you guys think of a more creative name for our bar, tavern, whatever the heck it's called, let me know and I'll go ahead and change it if I like any of your ideas better. It really wouldn't take much to like your idea better than mine, but whatever. One of the worst things or one of the things I'm worst at in life is like naming things. Like even like my stuffed animals when I was a little kid, I would name it like Doggy. Like I'm just never been great at naming things. So anyways, we do a little bit more fleshing out and really make this look realistic, and I like how our western town's coming along. It's going a little slower than I'd like, but you know, we're getting there slowly. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, drop a like, go ahead, comment, let me know what you guys think, let me know any suggestions you guys have, and as always, hit the subscribe button, join the GameCommon, show your support, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.